Okay, I just did a thing and I'm really excited about it, so I wanted to share it with you. I kind of tried to do this last year. It's called the Magician Series. And basically, I've been a guest on podcasts for several years now, since being in the publishing space. So for Moon Void Tarot, for Guided Tarot, for Tarot for Manifestation, for Guided Astrology, I've been talking on podcasts for years about myself. And I've got a chance to meet some really incredible people. And for the last couple of years, I've just been dying to be like, can I ask you some questions? Like, I want to know your story. And I've also met some really, really cool people that are doing some incredible things. Artists, writers, creators, mental health practitioners, healers, just people that are really doing the things. And I was getting really frustrated, as I'm sure many of you are too, that everybody's kind of outsourcing it all to AI. They're outsourcing their art, they're outsourcing their writing. It's been this frustrating thing, but instead of adding to that negative side of the conversation, like I don't need to go out on a soapbox and tell you how I feel about AI, because I don't feel like that's very productive. What I do feel like is more productive is going and getting and gathering these people that really inspire me and sharing conversations with other people, because there are so many people that are really using their art right now and that are building incredible platforms that maybe you don't know of and that you haven't heard about. And I think that you need to hear about these things instead of whatever your feed scroll is, the scroll is going to show you, more of the same. If you're clicking on posts that were written by AI, you're going to see more of that. So when you're coming to my page, I would love to share these people with you. So anyways, the Magician Series, I tried to do it last year where I was I was trying to invite people that really inspire me, that are doing really cool and interesting things, onto IG Live to chat with me. Kind of like a podcast, but just a little more casual. So we're chatting here on IG Live, and I decided to name it and make a little bit more of a formal announcement about it. So I'm really excited. Next Friday, the 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to talk to Jackie Galena. And Jackie created this tarot deck that I really love called the Midnight City Tarot. And the reason why I love it so much and why I love the magic of the universe, I really believe that relationships, people say, oh, friends are so hard to make. It's so hard to connect with people. And I think that that's like bullshit. I think that when you're open, people just fall in your lap. It's getting out of your own comfort zone to have the conversation. So anyways, I'm going to talk about this on the live with her, but I'm just going to sneak preview it to you guys. I met Jackie when I created the Moon Void Tarot 3rd edition. I was doing a Kickstarter, and I wanted to, you put out what you want to get back. So I wanted people to invest in my tarot deck and to support me. I'm crowdfunding. I'm asking people for money. It's the hardest thing I've ever done because it's terrifying to ask people to give money to you so you can produce your art. And so I was going through and I was looking at all of the Kickstarter decks that were happening. And I was like, I want to also support other artists and creators and be like, there's room for all of us. And I came across Jackie's crowdfunding, her Kickstarter campaign, and it was called the Midnight City Tarot. And what drew me to it at first were the colors, because it's purples and bright pinks and yellows, and it's a very vibrant, you can tell her very specific art style when you see it. So it was such a cool deck. And then when I got into her story, I felt like I was reading my own story, where, if you've been following me for a while, you know that my life fell apart in 2016 and I got rid of everything I owned, quit my job, ended a marriage, and just said, F this. And I moved to New York City with no job, no plan, just my savings and the belief that there had to be something better for me, that the life that I had was not a death sentence, basically. And Jackie kind of had the same thing. She too had this awakening and on a whim moved to New York City. And this deck chronicles her entire journey of healing and change and starting over and embracing the unknown. And the deck is just really like this love letter to New York City. And what I noticed was crazy, and I wish I had the decks right here, but I'm sitting in my car. I was in a coffee shop and it was so cold that I had to come outside and sit in my car and warm up. So we actually had 2 of our cards were very similar. We had the same, we both made cards dedicated to our healing space, which was Maha Rose, if you've heard of it. It's in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And that's where I did not all of my classes, but most of my classes, when I started studying tarot and astrology and healing and Akashic records and all of the things. I did so many classes at Maha Rose, and she had a card with Maha on it, and I was just like, oh! So yeah, talking to her and seeing her journey, it was just really amazing. And she's got some really cool things that she's doing, and she's just following her heart, and she's following her art and her passion. And I know that a lot of people right now, this is a brand new year, and if 2025 didn't teach you to walk away from things that weren't working, at this beginning part of 2026, you're going to really start to see if you had the rumblings in your heart and in your gut last year, or, even for several years, you're going to really, it's going to make itself known. So I wanted to share the inspiring stories of people that have really gone out, and, not to be discouraged by, the AI takeover, and just feeling like there's not going to be room for you because or feeling like the market's oversaturated, or where are you going to fit in? When you're in your authenticity and you're following your heart, you are here to share something. And everybody else started out as a beginner, and everybody has the same anxieties and fears and is this going to work? Am I going to be successful? I want to normalize starting over and having trust and faith in the unknown and trying something new. And if you find that you've been working really hard at something and it just hasn't really been panning out, and you feel like a failure, my friend, you have not failed. You're not done. Failure gives you your clues as to when it's time to pivot or to get quieter, to really listen in for the next steps. So anyways, I went off on a tangent, but I would love for you to come and listen to the Jackie's story and our conversation, and know that I have so many more people that I have lined up that I'm really excited about. And it's Jackie and I both created tarot decks, but all of the people that are coming that we're going to chat with, they're not all in the tarot sphere. They're in all different, everybody has their thing that they're working on, and a lot of it it's different from what I'm doing. So you can go back and look at previous things that I did. I interviewed Tess of spellbinding with 2 G's on the end about, she created the Witch Summit, and she's doing some incredible in-person community centered events in the Phoenix area. So I went to Phoenix a few months ago and did the Witch Summit, and I met so many incredible people that are doing such cool shit out in the world. So you can go back and listen to our chat and hear her story and how she is creating this community. And then also I talked to Susan Gates, who does some really cool stuff with astrocartography. If you've ever been curious of where in the world you can position yourself to really embody your different astrological signs, go visit your Venus line. Currently, I live on a Mars line, which I intentionally moved to my Mars line when I was postpartum, and I was feeling really just sad and down about like my body and my health, and I was exhausted and confused, and just, becoming a new mom was really hard for me. So I was like, I need that Mars energy. I need my zest for life. I need my sex life back. I need my body back. I need all the things. So living on my Mars line was like, really gives me the energy that I need. And it's also happens to be my daughter's moon line. We moved back to be near my parents, so my daughter could have a relationship with my sister and her children and all the things. So anyways, there's so much going on, but astrocartography is such an incredible thing to work with. And if you've never had a reading or you're interested in it, Susan Gates is amazing. You can reach out to her, but you can go back and, watch all these other episodes. I talked with Amy Lee Mercury, and she's an incredible author. We're both with Hay House, and her book Aura Alchemy, where she talks about like your auras, and she does some really cool like medical intuitive stuff. So if you're on a health journey, like check her out. So yeah, thank you for coming to my car chat. I also wanted to hold myself accountable to being like a healing of visibility and coming on live and speaking live, and it not be so edited, and healing the perfectionist within myself and being like, I can be on camera. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on Friday the 16th at 3 p.m. for a chat with Jackie. Have a great day.